What's up? I don't think I have a song today. You know how I usually start off with a song? I don't have a song today. I'm missing songs. I haven't been listening to anything this morning. I just been like jumping around and I haven't really listened to anything. So I don't even think I have a song today. My hair, having to flat iron my hair every day is what I hate about wearing my hair straight because it's just having to flat iron it. I just can't stand it. You know what I mean? And my edges. Oh my god. Anyway, so this guy was on Instagram. Now y'all know, I have been in the entertainment industry for many, many years. Um, I was a model for a long time. I was on TV. I did Real Housewives of Atlanta. I did what's the other one? Oh, I did Love and Hip Hop. I did The Game. I did a lot of like extra work, okay? And I realized a long time ago that acting just wasn't something I wanted to do. Everybody thinks that acting is like this, I don't know, like this thing that would always be fun, but for me, I just don't like pretending to be something. Like I don't know why. I just like being me, and it's just I don't know. Even with reality TV, I feel like when I did make the appearances that I made, it still was kind of like, I don't know, not me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it was either showing me from a distance, like I did one episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and they were showing me from a distance. And then in some other, like in the game, one season, I did the game and I was an extra. And so anytime they would do like parties and stuff, I would be like in the background at the party, or I'll have like one line or something like that. So even with me trying acting for a little while, I realized early on that it wasn't something that I wanted to do. And so a lot of people believe that would be the next logical step for someone who is modeling. But for me, I just was not interested because here's the thing. I never wanted to be a model anyway. I was always into my music. Okay, I always wanted to sing, and that's it. I didn't really want to be a model or actress or anything like that. So I ended up becoming a model by accident. All right, just because someone said, "Hey, you're kind of cute here," so you should model. And so, um, being as though I've been in the entertainment industry for so many years, right? And then the modeling, okay, and I was modeling lingerie, I was doing music videos, what I was doing, men tend to look at me and sexualize me. And I remember Bishop Angie telling me this, Bishop Angela from Black Women's Sphere telling me this the other day. And she was like, people just sexualized you simply because you were a model. They assume that the way you showed yourself as a model just seems to be who you are in real life. Well, a lot of people don't understand the difference between fantasy and reality, and that's another reason why I didn't really like acting, because I didn't want people to think the character that I was portraying at that time was anything close to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like to take on characters that, aren't me. You know what I'm saying? I like to be myself. And so, all of this time I've been in the entertainment industry, men have always tried to get at me. I mean, thousands on top of thousands of men have tried to holler at me from the time I was like, I don't know, 15 to now. I'm 39 now. And I'm not the average woman, because the average woman gets hollered at by an average man every day. If she's walking down the street, she's going to work, she's going to the club. You know, you get, as a woman, you get hollered at every day. Even if you're an attractive woman and you're not necessarily inside of the entertainment industry, you could be a cashier at the grocery store. You could be, I don't know, work at the skating ring. You could be a nurse. You could be whatever. And you'll get hollered at every day, like, because you're a beautiful woman. But then when you get inside of the entertainment industry, you're in a whole nother level of like dealing with people. If you are an average woman and you get 20 guys trying to holler at you a week, if you're in the entertainment industry, you're getting about 80 men trying to holler at you a week. Okay, so I've had a lot of men try to get at me all the time. And for me, I'm a really nice person, so I'm not the type of person to be like, fuck you, nigga, or, get out my face, nigga, I'm good, stuff like that. I don't talk to men like that. That's not how I talk. So when they've tried to get at me, I've been either like, oh, I'm flattered, but I'm not interested, or, here, take my phone number, and we could be like friends. I've always been very comfortable with just being friends and that's it with a guy. When I was in high school and I wasn't modeling, and I was in middle school, I was always the girl that had all of the guy friends, not guys that I slept with, but just I had all of these guy friends that we would sit down and play video games, or we would sit down and do whatever it was we were doing that doesn't have anything to do with sex or romance or anything like that. I was just always that one girl. And even when I got into the music industry and I began like singing and rapping and stuff, I would get signed to like labels and I would be with a crew of guys and I would be the only girl. And so as I got older and men were starting to be attracted to me more in a sexual romantic way because I was modeling, I was like not really the type of person that goes around and just says, ew, nigga, no. It was just like, oh, we could be cool, we could be friends. And so I made a lot of friendships with a lot of guys. Now, here's the problem with that. So a lot of guys like to lie on their dick. Okay, and I didn't realize this until I got till maybe about 4 years ago that men gossip. Men are like women. You know what I'm saying? Like they like gossip. If anything, they're like worse in regards to gossip. They actually lie more and they tend to believe each other's lies. Like women will sit and gossip with each other, right? Well, I don't, but I know some women who sit down and gossip with each other about the men that they're dating, and they'll find out the truth about these guys and they'll stab each other in the back and shit like that. And guys, with no proof, no proof whatsoever, they'll just trust what each other says. Women will go after a chick and try to make sure what she's saying to us is true. Like we'll be side eyeing her at the same time. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do stuff. But men don't tend to do that. They don't look up each other's life. They don't fact check. They don't fact check. And so um, I realized that with time. And so for a long time, I was like really single because I realized, I just wasn't the type of woman that would put up with the foolishness. Like I was not the type of woman that put up with the dumb shit. I just wasn't. Like that's just not me, right? And inside of a lot of these relationships, a lot of these women are putting up with these men cheating on them and lying to them and not doing what the fuck they're supposed to do. I just really don't have time for that shit. So I was like single for a long time, right? For a long time. And I was just the girl that everybody was trying to holler at that nobody could really get because I was like not interested. Like I just really was. And so then I met my son's father, right? I met my son's father, and he and I started dating. And I'm posting pictures of us on Facebook. I'm posting pictures of us on Twitter. I'm posting pictures on Instagram. He's on my YouTube channel, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Every guy within like a fucking on the United States. Okay, let's put it like that. Every single guy that I've ever talked to, every single guy that I may have been with or broken up with, every single guy who tried to date me and I said no, or any other guy who I just been friends with and they never told me that they liked me, hit me up. Every single one. Whether it was Facebook, they hit me up, whether they tried to text me, whether they emailed me, whether they left a comment on my YouTube channel, whether they left a comment on my Facebook channel. I mean, it was just like all of these guys were coming out the woodwork like Soncerae. I wish you would have just chose me. Like, why did you get with this dude? And this was before Priest and I even broke up. They was doing this while we was together. They were like, damn, I wish you would have gave me a shot. And I'm thinking, you never even tried to holler at me. And they were like, yo, I had this crush on you. And even to this day, if I'm driving Uber and a guy gets in the Uber and recognizes me, right? He's like, I had this crush on you, man. I should have just tried to holler at you before you got with this nigga. I hear that so much, like now. Even when I first got with Priest, people were saying, the men were saying that to me. I should have just tried to get at you. I was scared. I was afraid. Some guys was like, oh, I thought you would be better off with a celebrity. One guy told me, I thought you would be a good couple with Usher. I was like, Usher? Like, why Usher of all people? It was like, one guy was like, oh, I think you should be with Tyrese. It was like, What is going on in the minds of these men that's making them so insecure that when they see a woman that they interested in, they don't try to holler at her because they feel they're not good enough? That's the one thing that I kept hearing men say, that they felt like they weren't good enough to try to get at me. And I'm thinking, all of this time I've been sitting here single, it's been a goddamn decade, and you guys know, if you've been on my Facebook channel or my YouTube channel, how I feel in regards to dating, right? I could see how that could put you off, but at the same time, if you confident in yourself and you know you a good man and you come to a woman like me and you know what's up with you, you know you a good person, I'll be able to see that. And if I'm interested in you, I'll say that. But a lot of guys were like afraid of me rejecting them. And only because I was attractive. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that I was like, you know what, I don't think I'm going to date. Because men were saying, men I known since I was like 2021 was saying this to me. And I'm like, oh my God, like, why didn't you try to get at me? Well, because I felt like I wasn't good enough, and I felt like I didn't have enough money, and I wanted to get this job first and that job first. And such and such and such. So then I'm with Priest, and then everything happens with me and Priest and I break up. Here comes a flood of men all over again. Man, I wish you wouldn't have got with that nigga. Like, oh my God, I wanted to tell you, but you looked so happy in your pictures. Like, I wanted to tell you that nigga wasn't shit and I could treat you better than this nigga. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I just couldn't believe so many men were telling me this. Like, when you was with him, you looked so happy. You should have just broke up with that nigga. I knew something was wrong with him. And I'm like, yo, I know the difference between when a man trying to gay me versus a man trying to be honest versus a man who, is shy. I know the difference because I've been around enough guys. Just on a platonic level, I've been in the room with a group full of men talking about women. When I was signed to Convict Music, right? And this is a good example. Y'all remember Dollar? Remember Dollar got shot at the mall? Do y'all remember him? Remember his song. Damn, why can't I mean this was so long ago. I can't even remember his song. He had just came out with like this banging ass song. And so I was over his manager's house. Okay? It was me, him, his manager, and like five other guys. I think one of them was Akon's brother. Akon's brother Boo. Okay? I think he was over there too. Anyway, they were sitting down around the pool table and they was just talking about girls, right? And I heard one of them say, "Yo, don't fuck with this girl cuz she a hoe." And dude was like, "Why, how you know she a hoe? Did you hit?" He was like, "Nah, I ain't hit, but I know somebody else that hit." And I'm thinking to myself, "Why the fuck is he going around saying this girl is a hoe if he ain't hit?" Right? Like, and I'm thinking, what? And he was telling Dollar, listen, when you pick chicks, don't pick chicks whose reputations are that they're a hoe. And I'm thinking, well, how will he know for sure if she's a hoe or not? Because here you are saying she's a hoe and you don't even know. And he was telling Dollar, pick good girls, pick the girls that dress nice and, they in college and such and such and such and such. And one other guy was like, listen, I don't care if they in college or not. I'm just trying to fuck. Nobody gives a fuck about what's in their brain. I was like, oh my God. Like, some of the conversations I have heard men have in front of me when they're talking about women is interesting. So I know a lot about men. What it is about me applying this shit to my life. Like, me giving relationship advice, right? I know good advice. It was about me applying that shit to my own life. And a lot of people feel like, well, I was in this bad relationship and that is like a reflection of whether I can give good advice or not. Well, really, that's not the case at all. I can give you good advice, but me taking my own advice has been very difficult when I know the truth about who I am as a person and you guys do not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can show you who I am all day long. I can be as transparent as possible to every single person I meet. But still, at the end of the day, your perspective of me has a lot to do with the experiences that you have had in your life. And it may seem like you are watching me and just by how I speak or how I act, you can tell what type of person I am. No, because you're still seeing me from a distance. You're still only seeing one side. And the one thing that I try to explain to men who try to holler at me now, this one guy was in my Instagram DMs trying to get at me, and he was talking about, oh, I love your YouTube videos. And I hear that a lot from men. I love your YouTube videos. Um, I would be a good guy for you, blah blah blah, and they always talk about my personality. And this one guy said to me, I don't think a lot of guys understand you as a person, but I do. And I'm thinking, what does this man think he has over every other man that's watching me from a distance? What does he think he has versus the other men that's saying the same thing he's saying? What I need men to understand is when they come to me and they say, "Oh, I'm so different," or "I'm different from Priest," or "I'm a better man than Priest," "I'm different, I'm different, I'm different, I'm different." You have to realize that all men are saying that they're different. All of you are saying that you're different. So if I'm a woman, right, and I am, and let's put it like this, fellas, you a man, right? If you got every woman walking up to you saying, "Oh, I'm different, I'm no hoe, I'm wife material, I'm this and I'm that," and you got every girl saying this shit to you, who you gonna believe you the truth? How are you gonna know which one is telling the truth? And the first thing that you're gonna think is all these bitches the same, because all these bitches saying the same shit. So it's the same thing with me as a woman. When men come to me and swear they so different and swear they understand my personality more than anyone else, I have to say to you, no, you don't understand my personality more than another man, because you're still a stranger. You and I haven't met. You could say, hey, I'm interested in you, I think you're attractive, but just like another man who is watching me from a distance, you know the same information that man know about me. You don't know what it's like to date me. You don't know, what it's like to be in my home. You don't know my family personally. You don't know my character as far as what I'm like inside of a relationship. That's another reason why when Priest got up and talked about me, he left out all of the good shit. And that's usually what exes do. Exes don't tell everybody, unless they a stand-up person. Exes don't tell everybody, oh, my ex did this and that for me, and she or he was so wonderful, because they're in the process of being hurt over the relationship being over, whether they caused it or not. And a lot of times when a woman or a man is dealing with someone who was bad to them anyway, if they was a bad person anyway, 9 times out of 10, this person isn't going to say something good about them. They was bad for them. Your ex is not going to tell the world how wonderful and amazing you were to them, because they don't want to see you with anyone else. So they're going to try to convince any man or woman on the planet to not be with you, because they don't want to see you with anyone else. All right, especially if they were a bad person and they were the reason why the relationship was over to begin with. So who I am inside of a relationship, most people don't know, because I don't go around here being in relationships. Like, I'm not the type of person that goes around and just lets any guy be in a relationship with me, or any guy sleep with me. You see what I'm saying? Like, and for that to be something that someone even says about me, says to me that they're using this term hoe and slut and tramp and all of that stuff. They're using it the same way society uses these terms to oppress women, or to embarrass women, or to make people view a woman as less than, as usual. And it's a shame that we live in a society where women can be subject to something like that. Like, okay, we don't want anyone to want this girl. We're just gonna we're just gonna team up, and we're gonna agree that she is a hoe, whether she's a hoe or not. We're just gonna sit up here. We're gonna agree, okay, that's what she is, and all of us are gonna leave her alone. I remember a long time ago when I was in like 7th grade, had to be 7th or 8th grade. I had my first like boyfriend. No, we never had sex, but we like kissed. We kissed once. And one day, he just decided to like break up with me, right? And I was like, why are you breaking up with me? Like, I know you love me. I know you care about me. I love you back. I've been really good to you. Why are you breaking up with me? You know what he said to me? Well, me of my friends have sat down and we've talked about you, and we realized that all of us like you. So instead of one of us having you, we've decided that none of us are going to have you. I was like, are you crazy? Like, why not just be the one that has me? Be the lucky one. He was like, no, because he was trying not to pact with his homies. You see what I'm saying? And I think with men care more about their friendships with men than they care about their relationships with women. And it wasn't until I got older that I understood that. And I thought about that story of when I, had my first boyfriend and he broke up with me. And he said, all of my friends, like you. They want you to be their girlfriend. And instead of me being with you, I'd rather just break up. And I was just like, what? Like, it didn't sound right. But now the way I know how men's minds are wired now, and they're not wired like. So the one lie that men keep telling themselves when they look in my direction and they've watched all my videos or they watched my posts on Instagram or Facebook, or they've heard my ex talk about me, or they've heard haters speak shit. The one lie they tell themselves is that they know me. They know who I am, and they can be able to make sound judgment about who I am because of social media or because someone else told them a story. You'll never be able to know who I am truly unless you sit down and you experience me beyond social media. And we're all like that. I'm not the only one. We're all like that. There is no one that I can look at from a distance and make complete sound judgment about this person. I could have an opinion because of my perspective, and a lot of times people's perspectives aren't necessarily the best perspectives in the world because people are usually operating off of limited information. Most of us are, number one, making assumptions about people. We have preconceived notions. Again, our perspectives of people come from a place of it just being from our little world, us seeing it from one side. We don't see things three-dimensional. We are sitting here making like opinions about people off of things that we may have heard, or maybe we saw something that in that person that reminded us of another person or something like that. It's never, oh, we just know these people all the way through unless we've spent all of this amazing time with this person. So when men contact me, right, and they think they know me, it's weird. Like, because I'm looking at them like, you are a complete stranger to me. I don't know you. Like, how do you think you know me? Simply because of some videos. I don't know you, honey. We could sit here and go back and forth on DM for another year, and I still won't know you. You know what I'm saying? It took like my moderator, Mark. Let me tell you what I realized Mark was my friend. Okay? Excuse me. I realized Mark was my friend this year. Do you know how long Mark been around? 7 years. And probably longer. Okay? And it wasn't until I started looking through like my comments and my videos and stuff that people were saying, messages that I was getting, and I realized I was getting messages from Mark. Like for years. I mean, he had been commenting on pictures. He had been sending me emails. And I was like, wait, it's been 7 years? Like, Jesus Christ. Now, okay, now I can say you're my friend. You know what I mean? But if you only been watching my videos for a year and we ain't talked, or you've been watching my videos for 5 years and we haven't talked at all, we haven't interacted, you still don't know me. Me and Mark been interacting for 7 years and I still haven't met this man in person, and I still classify him as a friend. You know why? Because I feel like from our interacting that long, of course now he knows me, but people who just, have heard about me in passing, or have watched a handful of my videos, or seen some pictures of me from a year ago, or something like that, these people don't know me. So the one lie that men tell themselves all of the time when they reach out to me is, Soncerae, I know you. I know your personality. I know who you are. I know I can deal with you. And I'm like, yeah, the one thing that men do that they're liable to do inside of a relationship is change their mind. And that's one thing that they don't tell you. They and then they okay. Like, they've led you on to believe that they care for you and love you and they're in a relationship. Men love conditionally. They love conditionally. A woman is an unconditional lover. Like, we'll love a man through some shit that we know we shouldn't be loving him through, but we'll love him anyway. And men don't do that. Like, the second men feel like something is wrong with a woman, he's ready to move on and replace her with someone else. So I don't classify men as dogs. Men are not dogs. Dogs are loyal. Okay, men are not loyal, and I know it's women out there who aren't loyal as well. But I'm tired of men trying to portray themselves as if they're like these unconditional loyal lovers who are empaths and spiritual and solid, when really they love a woman about as far as they can throw her. From the conversations I've heard men have, like in front of me, like my homeboys just sitting here talking about girls, like the way men talk about women, I just been like, man, like, why would any woman want to be a woman in a world where men treat us like this? You understand? Like, the last thing a woman should put on the top of her list is being some dude's wife or girlfriend. I promise you, like, that shit needs to be like at the bottom somewhere. That shit needs to be like number 10 on our list of priorities. If anything, it's like, yo, I need to get in tune with God. I need to, number 2, eat my vegetables. Number 3, exercise. Number 4, like, get my education on. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that women should focus on, because trying to put, oh, I want to be a wife and a girlfriend as top priority is going to get you screwed up, because these men are not like they're not. I'm assuming because society has taught them, and I want to say black men, white men, I want to say men of all races. I'm not going to pick a specific race of men, because I mean, it shit stains everywhere. Every race has their issues, but I feel like with black men are a different problem. Like, I think black men have had so many issues. The only people that they could probably take their issues out on is a black woman. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see anyone else that is classified as lower than a black man. Because I think black men are considered um at the bottom of the scrotum pole. I want to say, like, when they're dealing with other races are looking at them. Like, say for instance, I always say that, you see how all of the Kardashians date a black man? They will never be able to return back to dating white men, because once you've dated a black man, white guys are like not interested in you if you're white. You see what I'm saying? That, like, I can't explain it. It's like you've become like less than when you date a black man, when you're not a black person. And that's how society does black men. So I think in order to I guess make themselves feel better, or I don't know, to I don't know. I guess just to disrespect black women makes a man feel better about himself. But I try to stay away from the race topics because I don't want y'all arguing in my comment section. You know what I mean? Arguing. I hate that arguing shit. So anyway, the one lie that men tell themselves about Soncerae is that they know me. Um, Even with my son's father, I felt like he couldn't even tell you, like, Priest couldn't even tell you what my favorite song was. That's how self-centered Priest was. I could tell you a list of things Priest enjoyed because I was like in my relationship. I was in my relationship. He got his back rubs, foot rubs, hair washing, things that I cater to my guy. When I'm in a relationship, I'm so catering and submissive. It is ridiculous. Like, if you look at my videos and you think, oh, Soncerae's this strong woman that I'm not going to be able to deal with because she's so opinionated and blah, 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 because that's what everybody thinks. You have no idea how the complete opposite happens when I'm in a relationship. Like, I'm completely, like, I'll say I have a spine, but for the most part, I'm not like this strong, super strong woman who, I don't know, has an attitude problem or whatever it is that men think I am when they look at me. When I'm in a relationship, I'm completely different. So, what I feel like in my last relationship, he didn't know what he had because he didn't even take the time to invest. He was so self centered from the beginning that it was always about him and what he wanted and what he needed. And during the whole relationship, he wasn't even taking notes. He wasn't even factoring in the amazing things about me as a woman. The things that men look for in a woman. Apparently I was doing something right because he ended up being in a relationship with me anyway. So there were some things that was attractive to him, but it was things that had something to do with him that would help him gain. It was never, oh, what's Soncerae's goals, dreams, what's her favorite color, what does she like to do when she's stressed, what does she like to eat, things like that. What is she trying to do? What are her 5 year goals? Because I feel like these were all things that I was saying to him, and he just was not like receptive to any of those. Because I remember when we were living in the hotel and living in the back of his truck and sleeping at the Walmart. And to this day, sometimes when I get in the Walmart parking lot, I get teary eyed. Like when I drive by a hotel that may look like the hotel I was in, I get teary eyed. Or if I drive down a road that I had to walk. Like I had to one time I didn't have money for Uber, I didn't have money for a bus. All I had was enough money to get Justice some formula. So I walked 6 miles back and forth from the store just to go get some formula for Justice. And it took me like 5 hours. Okay. Like I was like, oh my God. And it was cold outside and it was raining, but I did that shit. I did that shit like 3 times for my son. And sometimes when I'm driving down the street and I see the street that I had to walk down, I get teary eyed. I remember when I was in the truck in the Walmart parking lot sleeping, and I would come to Priest with like suggestions about how we get out of the situation that we're in. And he never came up with any suggestions. I would always make suggestions. Even when I was talking about where we should live, I would always make these suggestions. And when he would leave and go to work, I would think, well, this is going to be his time away for me to go figure out what else he wants to do. He would go to work and then he would come home and I say, okay, do you have any suggestions about where to live? And he could name a damn thing, not one damn thing. And so I just feel like he got out of me what he wanted, which was the fun part of being with me. The person who likes to laugh, who likes to have a good time, who likes to go out, the social butterfly, the person who likes to, have dinners and take long walks and hikes and, all of just the loving things I like to do, picnics and all types of stuff. He loved that part. He loved how I loved him. You see what I'm saying? He didn't love the other way around. So the that men tell themselves is that they know me. Um, and it's unfortunate that even if you build a friendship with someone, like say for instance, you build a friendship first, because I've done that. I've built a friendship with a guy first before I date. That's usually how it goes. And with Priest, I was building a friendship. I think we almost dated. It was almost 3 months before we got in a relationship. But we were spending every day together in those 3 months. See, it's different if a couple was like being friends and they were only spending time with each other maybe once a week. He and I were spending like every day together. So by the time that third month was like about to roll around, it was like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and be in a relationship because we're around each other every day. Like we might as well, like forget it. So a lot of people are like, well, you should have got to know someone longer. Well, I'm here to tell you that I was like friends with somebody for 5 years before we ended up getting engaged, and I still found out things about him after our engagement that I should have known long before then. And I'm talking about something as simple as this man being married to someone else who was living in Texas, and this was something I didn't even know because he had lied. He had a wife, right, who had his little girl in Texas, and he had another baby mama in like New York, and he had a son with her, and he didn't really explain that to me. Like I knew about his son in New York, but I didn't know that he had a wife in Texas until after we was engaged. And this was a man I knew 5 years. 5 years. So you never really know somebody. Like if somebody doesn't want to tell you some shit, they're just not going to tell you. So the one lie that men tell themselves is that they know me. That's the lie. That's the one lie that they tell themselves. Because I guess it makes them feel better to tell them that. I don't know. Hey, everybody that's in the chats. Mark, what's up? Hey, Michael, what's up? Um, when was the last time you've been to the DMV? I haven't been to the last time I was with went to the DMV. I was with Priest. Me, Priest, we went for me and my grandmother's birthday because my birthday is the first, and my grandmother's birthday is on the 6th. So, and my little cousin was graduating from high school. This was in 2017. That was the last time I've been to the DMV. Me and Priest went. Me, Priest, and my daughter Dominique drove from Atlanta to the DMV. And this is when Priest met my family. He met my entire family, not just a piece of my family, but my entire family. My mother, my dad, my uncles, my everything. He met everybody. And I remember I was like, the way that the party was set up, it was like bouncy castles, and it was a graduation slash birthday party for me and my grandmother. Everybody was there, and everybody loved Priest. And I remember looking over at him, and my daughter was having a conversation. And this is when he was telling my daughter, like, I'm going to marry your mother. And because I remember my daughter coming to me right after their conversation, saying to me what he said to her. And he was like, I'm serious about marrying your mother. I'm going to like be with her for the rest of my life. Like, I love her. And this was the last time I was in a DMV. And I remember saying to Priest before we even got to the DMV, I was like, listen, if you're not going to take me serious, don't come meet my family. Me and my daughter could just drive to the DMV by ourselves. I mean, we've done it before. Like me and my daughter are like we road trip buddies. We like to get in the car and just drive for hours. Me and my daughter love that. So we've driven back and forth from DC to Atlanta, and she's done it with her dad. It was unnecessary for Priest to babysit us. He didn't need to. So I said to him, if you're not serious about me, don't come meet my family. I'll just me and my daughter. And he decided to come. And that was the last time I was in the DMV. And I wish I would have took another guy home. But then again, justice is a fucking delight. Okay. My son is the only thing that came out of that relationship that blessed me, and I will not take that relationship back because of that. Like, I don't ever, when I think of, I wish I never met my son's father, I'd be like, whoa, wait, I don't know. Fuck that. Thank you for the sperm, nigga. My son, I love my son. That dude, so much. I love him. And I don't care if I never see Priest again. My son is the best shit that's ever happened to me. That's all I fucking know. So let me not say what I was getting ready to say. Like, I wish I didn't introduce him to my family. Never mind. I'm glad he came. I'm glad he came. Ancient Blacks, I have a crush on you too. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. Um, Farid, men are not scared. Men get intimidates, and men are going MGTOW. Honey, Farid, scared and intimidation is the same thing, honey. Intimidation is a form of fear. So they are scared. This MGTOW shit is some YouTube shit. Niggas is walking around in real life not even stunting that MGTOW shit. That is some YouTube weirdo shit. That's for the socially awkward that didn't have father figures who sat down, or positive male role models, and sat down and taught them how to deal with women. Because you don't have to be disrespectful to a woman to get what you want out of a woman. Usually, when men have been taught what they need to do, honestly, they end up having some amazing relationship with women. Um, B Productions, thank you. B Productions. Oh, is this Calvin? Who is this saying I didn't read the comments? Oh yeah, Calvin Tisdale. I don't read the comments until the end. Um, Candace, when when men tell me they are different than other men, I side eye them. Girl, thank you. They don't even know. Side eye them. Side eye men are trying to tell you that they're different. Thanks to everybody who is in the chat. I appreciate. Make sure you thumbs up the video. I truly take care of my man when I'm in a relationship. I'm loving and submissive in a relationship, but I'm always honest and loyal. Men don't appreciate you until you leave. Exactly. They don't think about it. They don't even think about, like, I remember this guy that I know for a very long time. Very long time. He's been my friend for many, many years. He texted me yesterday. And he said, "Is everything doing well? I'm going to basically plan my trip to Cali because I told him to come out to Cali when he's ready. And we've been best friends for a long time. And when I was having trouble on YouTube, I came to him and I said, YouTube is driving me fucking crazy. What should I do with YouTube?" And he told me to quit. He told me to quit. And that upset me because, and this was months ago when he told this to me, and we haven't been right since. And when things was going on between me and Priest, I didn't talk to him at all. I didn't talk to my best friend at all. I didn't say anything to him. And you know, when you best friends with somebody, you know somebody for a plethora of years, you don't have to talk to them all the time. You could go like 3 months without talking to them, and then suddenly talk to them, and it'd be like y'all didn't stop talking. You know, you have friends like that, like you've known for like 20 fucking years. So when you stop talking, you're like, oh, I'll talk to her later. That's how me and my friends are. Or we'll talk when if one of our parents die, or if we're sick, or if we need something. That's how me and this guy is. So when I was like going through what I went through with Priest, I didn't tell him. One day he just hit me up. One day he didn't even know I had a baby because I didn't tell him anything. He was just oblivious, right? So I told him, you know what was going on. He was like, "Oh my god!" Right? So anyway, once he found out, he started sending me money and helping me out. And so anyway, when I was telling him I had issues with YouTube, he told me to quit. So it made me feel some type of way because I'm like, yo, you could have told me that you wanted to goat herd. And if you was having trouble with goat herding, I would never tell you to quit. I would encourage you forever because I'm your friend. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to figure this shit out and we're going to do the shit. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do this. Me and you, and he's always had like this crush on me. He's loved me more than anybody else. And I said to him, me and you will never be together because of that. Because you will be so quick to tell me to quit some shit. Like, and that's how it's always been in regards to business. Like when we try to handle business with each other, he's the one that will take somebody else's side versus my own because of his own personal benefit. And that's the reason why we haven't been together. Like people always ask me, why didn't you and this person get together? Because you've been friends for so long and you've been close and I see that you're happy with him. And I'm like, we could, because we just, it's other things in regards to dealing with a relationship that we can't seem to get eye to eye on. And so anyway, um, he hit me up and said he wanted to go to California, and I said I don't know if I want to see you because I really feel like I just made poor choices in men, business associates, friends, and I would be a lot more successful nowadays had I had a better set of people around me. And I feel like by you sitting here telling me I need to quit my YouTube channel says a lot about, you know, where you stand in regards to whether you have faith in me or you believe in me or not. And I really feel like out of all of the years that I've known any of the people, he's been the only one that's actually appreciated all of the amazing things about me. And when me and Priest broke up, or I told him about me and Priest, he was like, "That nigga don't know who he dealing with. Like he really just think you like some side bitch off the side of the street." I said, "I know, right? This nigga has no idea." Like he didn't even take the time to get to know any of the amazing, like wonderful things about me. Like I have so many like valuable things going on with me, and this nigga has no idea. Like he can't name shit. Like it's sad. Like you would think if you spent every day with a person, they would have been able to read, you know, the good things about you. But like I said before, some niggas just can't read. Like you could have wifey material written all over your forehead. Some niggas just can't read. So this nigga just did not see. And so my best friend was like, yo, I hate that this nigga did not see that. And that's the one thing that I get from a lot of men that know me. And then I have men out there that see me from a distance and be like, damn, I wish you would have valued you. And then I have the ignorant men that come in my comment section talking about some mental, red pill, purple pill, whatever that bullshit is. Intel, dumb shit. Men going their own way. I'm telling you, that's for the socially awkward. So anyway, I gotta go. I was supposed to go like 10 minutes ago. I was supposed to go 10 minutes ago. So anyway, that's the one line men tell themselves that they know me. And for the most part, time tells. With Priest, time told. He sat around and took me for granted, and the best is yet to come because I got something for y'all. And y'all gonna be like, oh my God, right? I got something for y'all. And when you watch me for the next couple of years of my life, the first thing that you're gonna be thinking in your mind is what goes around comes around. And I want you always to remember that. Whether you're man, whether you're woman, what goes around comes around. And you gotta be careful when you're dealing with people. Be careful. Because the people that you devalue, the people that you look at and you don't see the benefit in them, if you don't genuinely come to these people as a good person, as a nice person, and you don't mean well, and you got these ulterior motives underneath, time will tell. And the truth, when the truth come out and you see what the universe does, you're gonna be shocked. You're gonna be shocked, and you better hope that you was on the right side of the moon and not the dark side, because you're gonna feel so stupid if you hurt a person who was good, or if you assumed a person was bad when they weren't. And all your preconceived notions and assumptions about people are wrong. Take the time to get to know people. Not everybody mean well, but not everybody sitting out here trying to get you. And you have to remember that. Anyway, I got to